Oklahoma has been plagued by wildfires in recent weeks, especially in northwest Oklahoma, where a massive wildfire has burned more than 1,000 square miles and killed one person. Those fires have also put a strain on state resources already stretched thin by budget cuts. Stateimpact reporter Joe Wertz joins us with more on the fires and the state's response to them. Thank you for being with us, Joe.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, what's the latest? What's going on with the fires? What's the problem with covering them?
Well, I mean, they've largely been contained at this point. I mean, this is a bad time of year. It's windy and dry, and there's a couple combinations going on. It's a windy, dry year that followed a very rainy year. So what we had was prolific growth of grass and trees and little scrub brushes and stuff, followed by drought. So a lot of fuel out there, and it's really been devastating up in northwestern Oklahoma, into the Panhandle, and kind of up into the Kansas area. So, I mean, we're talking massive wildfires.
So we haven't had enough resources to battle those wildfires, so other states have had to help?
Yeah, so Oklahoma is increasingly depending on other states to help it fight these fires. And it's worth knowing that these fires are some of the most complex, complicated, most dangerous fires. And the reason is because not all firefighters are trained to fight these wildland fires. It takes a very special type of training on the fire dynamics and how it works and how to put them out. So there's a state agency, the State Forestry Agency, is the chief principal resource for fighting these fires, and they've been saddled with budget cuts, and people have retired from that agency, and they haven't been able to replace them. So Oklahoma's having to bring in crews from out of state to help it with these.
And you don't think of that. It's a state agency.
Right.
People need to be equipped. We need to have enough personnel, and they need to be trained, right?
Right. They need to have the equipment, personnel, and be trained. And also, having these state crews allows the state to stage people if they think the fires are going to get bad. And you can't do that with an out-of-state crew. So not only do state forestry officials say, we're not saving any money by bringing in these out-of-state crews, we might be spending more money. And it's a lot less effective because we can't stage these crews. The other thing is, when it's not fire season, these wildland firefighters, when they're not fighting these fires, they're training other fire departments in the state on some of these techniques. So we lose out on that expertise that helps train other firefighters. So look, they say budget cuts, we're not fighting these fires as effectively. We might be spending more money.
I know you'll be keeping an eye on this and the other agencies that are impacted by the state budget at Stateimpact. Thank you, Joe Wertz.
Thank you so much.
Okay.